What's up guys, it's Son Malik back here, and today I got some really awesome LEGO Justice League movie set images for you guys today. And pretty much all these images come from this poster right here. I got this image from the cosmicbooknews.com, so thank you to them for getting this image. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. On the left of the side of the screen we only got some mighty micros, which aren't even new, so we're not going to be taking a look at those. But on the right side we got to look at all our new Justice League sets. So let's take a closer look at all of them. We're going to start from the smallest one and move our way to the largest. There's only 3 sets here, but let's start with that smallest set. So this is the Battle of Atlantis. As you can see here, it's going to retail for 25 euros, so it's probably around $25 as well, US. And this is the smallest set of this wave. We get 4 figures in this set. We get 1 yellow parademon here, 2 Atlantean guards, and Aquaman himself. Now, I wasn't too sure that we were going to be seeing a lot of Atlantis in the movie, but I guess this set just confirms that, so I guess we will be getting a lot of fight scenes in Atlantis, which is really awesome to see. Taking a look at the figures here, the parademons look a little bit weird in my opinion here. If they're supposed to look anything like they did in the trailer, or like they did in the last movie when Batman had that huge flashback, then they're supposed to be using a gunmetal gray armor set with some red eyes and stuff. I don't know why it's gold and blue here. To me it honestly looks a little bit childish, and I'm not sure why LEGO really did this. But the parademons, what they look like, are supposed to have some really bland colors on them. Just some gray and black. So I guess LEGO did want to liven it up a bit here. Although this could be a different variant of parademon. Maybe this is like a parademon ultra or like a major or like a higher ranking parademon than the rest. And that might be why he has all these colors. But nonetheless, it's nice to see that we get some new wing pieces here. We can't see much of his prints, but from what I can tell, they look pretty intricate and detailed. He is using a stud shooter there, which again are pretty annoying, but if you don't like them, you don't have to use them. The Atlantean guards here look pretty awesome. I'm really digging their head mold there. I'm pretty sure that's a new mold. I'm really digging the whole gold costume here. It looks really awesome. And it's not just a regular like yellow, it's a metallic gold. So it's really nice to see that going across their entire body. Their printing also looks pretty detailed as well. And they got these really weird weapons that they're holding right there. I guess they're like torpedoes or guns. I'm not really sure. But again, we're going to be seeing a better look at those when we actually see the movie. And then time to look at the main figure himself of this set, Aquaman. And this is a figure that I was really hyped to see in this movie because as you guys know, Aquaman was changed a lot for this movie. So the classic Aquaman does have that cheesy looking orange fish scaled shirt with that green pants, and it looks a little weird in my opinion. But then when we saw the poster for the new Aquaman, everybody got really hyped. Jason Momoa was going to be playing him, and he looked really badass in his awesome costume right there. It was really cool. And honestly, I'm not too happy with this figure here. I don't really think it portrays it that well. To me, it honestly looks like they're trying to make it look like the old Aquaman. As you can see here, he has a golden torso here with some green pants. And honestly, in my opinion, the suit is really scaly, and it's not this bright of a color. Honestly, the gold would have been fine, but I do think this figure would have benefited a lot from some arm printing here. I really would have preferred if they did that. But I honestly think the gold does not suit this figure at all. This could be a different costume from the one that we actually saw in the trailer, but I highly doubt that because it does look like he's going to be wearing that throughout the majority of the movie. I can't really get a good look at his face here, but I'm guessing it does look a lot like Jason Momoa. He is using his signature trident here as well, so that's nice to see again. As for the build for this set, there's nothing special going on here. I'm guessing that every set is going to include this cosmic cube, so as you can see this white cosmic cube that he's got here on this pedestal. And again, I think that's what Steppenwolf, the main villain of this movie, is going to be collecting them, I guess. I'm not really sure. I'm not too big into Justice League, so I don't know all the little details of the movie. But if you guys do know, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. But I'm pretty sure that's a cosmic cube that he's going to be trying to get. I'm not even sure if cosmic cube is the right word for that, but that's what I'm going to be calling them in this video. But yeah, for the rest of the build, I'm really liking that sand green color that we get for the bricks here. And we do get a lot of those sand green colored bricks, which is really nice to see. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for this set overall for $25. You get 4 figures here. The parademon, in my opinion, looks a little weird. And Aquaman is not as great as I would have liked him to be. But overall, I guess they are pretty alright. And it's definitely worth picking up if you're a fan of Aquaman, or if you really dig this new Aquaman that they got playing in the Justice League movie. I'm definitely going to be picking this one up, even though I'm not too happy with the figure. This is an easy way to get a really awesome member of the Justice League. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do for the Battle of Atlantis. Now let's move on to our next set here. This is the Nightcrawler Tunnel Attack, and it's going to retail for 50 euros. So that's probably going to end up being $50 US as well. And this is a really awesome set. We've seen this entire thing in the trailer. And from what I can tell, the vehicle looks pretty good here. It does look like they scaled it down a lot. I mean, just looking at the cockpit section of this vehicle, compared to what it looked like in the actual trailer when Batman jumped into it, it looks a lot smaller here, and it looks like they scaled it down a huge amount, I guess just to get it in this price range, which again is fine. I'm not too upset about that. Overall, the vehicle does look like what it's supposed to, and it is like that spider bat tank thing that walks around and completely destroys everything like it did in the trailer. But yeah, before we take a look at the actual build, let's take a look at the figures here. This set also includes 4 figures, and in this set we get 2 parademons, which are identical, Batman and the Flash. So those two parademons, again, look a little weird in my opinion. Again, these ones are green, and as I said before, they're not supposed to be green or yellow or blue. They're supposed to be gray, black, and a lot of darker colors. But again, I could be wrong. Maybe this is what they look like in the new movie. But from what I can see in the trailers, they don't really look like that. But again, I'm not really sure what LEGO's doing. But the details and the printing here look pretty nice. Batman, from what I can tell, looks the exact same as he did in the last Justice League movie sets. He will be getting a new suit in this movie, but that suit is in the much larger set. So I guess in this scene of the movie, he's going to be using his classic Batman suit. That's why they gave him this figure. So again, he's nothing special. You can already pick this figure up in stores by getting one of last year's Batman vs Superman sets. But the Flash here looks really, really awesome in my opinion. We can't take a look too much of his details right there because the image does get a little bit blurry, but he does look pretty cool. I'm really liking how they stuck with that head mold there. I'm really liking how they stuck with that helmet mold that they had on the old Flash figures. I think that's a great choice. It does look a little bit different compared to the last ones. It does look like the lightnings coming off the side of his helmet there are slightly smaller and they're gold now. But again, this looks really great. One thing I do like about this Flash figure though is the different types of red that they used on him. As you can see, his helmet is that light red, then his headpiece underneath right there on his chin is a dark red, his torso is also dark red, and the rest of his limbs are also light red. And that's because in the movie his armor is a different combination of those different red colors. So I really like how LEGO portrayed that here in minifigure form. I think they did a great job, and I really can't wait to get this Flash figure. Flash is one of my favorite characters from the Justice League. I'm a big fan of the TV show and whatnot, and even though this isn't a CW version of the Flash, it's really nice to see the Flash here in LEGO form. One thing I did want to mention, he does have his Power Blast piece here, so it does look like the Flash in this movie will have the ability to throw lightning like he does in the comics and in the TV series and whatnot. But yeah, it's really great that they include that Power Blast piece as well. Again, those are really awesome pieces. I think they work really well and don't take anything away from the figures. But yeah, this Flash figure is really awesome. I'm really digging it, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. But yeah, enough about the figures. Now let's take a look at the actual Nightcrawler. And again, like I said at the beginning, this is a much scaled down version of what it's supposed to look like. Honestly, from the trailer, I couldn't tell if it had 6 legs or 4 legs, but I'm guessing it does have 4. That's why LEGO did this. The build here is really nice, though. I do like what they do with these Batman vehicles in LEGO form here for the movie sets. They don't give it any of those yellow colors. They just stick to the regular gray and black, which gives that nice stealthy look. And I think that's really awesome that they do this. This Nightcrawler here also has some weapon systems going on it. So as you can see on the top there, you get 2 of those rotating stud shooters, which again, they do add some play features. And again, if you don't like them, you can just remove them and replace them with your own builds of some cannons or whatnot. But yeah, I'm not too happy with the scaling down of the vehicle, but I do see that they're trying to keep it into this $50 price range. And I'm actually not too upset that they did that. Again, it's a lot nicer having this vehicle be a lot smaller here and being $50 rather than it being really large and end up being like $80 or something like that. So again, it's really nice that they did that here. Honestly, my personal opinion of this vehicle, it doesn't seem very Batman-like, but again, it's in the trailer. I haven't seen it in action in the movie too much. We have seen it a little bit in the trailer, and it does look pretty badass there. It just doesn't seem like Batman in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the Nightcrawler. And before we're done with this set, one thing I did want to mention, this set also includes a Cosmic Cube as well. Again, I'm not sure if they're called Cosmic Cubes, but it's those cubes that Steppenwolf had in the rated R version of Batman vs Superman. I'm not sure what they're called, but there's one right here in the set as well, so I guess Steppenwolf will be collecting them. And this one's gray right here. I'm not sure if they have different elements or whatnot, but again, that has a detailed sticker right there on it as well, and that looks pretty nice. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do for this Nightcrawler tunnel attack. Now let's take a look at our final set here. This is the largest set of them all, and this right here is a Flying Fox Batmobile Airlift attack. It retails for about 120 euros, which is a really big price here. So it's probably going to be around 120 US dollars. And man, I got a lot to say about this set. So before we start talking price and everything, let's take a look at the actual set first. Starting with the minifigures here. We get a lot of them in this set. So we get 7 figures here. Starting with our big bad of our movie here, Steppenwolf, who is really awesome. He's not really a minifigure, he's more just a character, and he's built up. But again, he looks pretty nice. I'm really liking this new custom headpiece that they gave him here, and the prints on it look pretty nice as well. His torso prints look pretty cool as well there. Overall, the figure looks pretty great. In my opinion, it doesn't look too much like he did in the end of Batman vs Superman, but we haven't really seen him in any of the trailers, so maybe he does change or something like that. Maybe he does have some more red on him this time, and that's why LEGO gave him that. I'm not sure if he's actually going to be using a big axe in the movie. A lot of times, LEGO will just give their villains weapons, just so you have something to do with the actual villain. But the axe here does look pretty good. It does look like it's a really nice build. I am digging all those silver pieces. They look pretty nice. And yeah, Steppenwolf looks really great here. Honestly, I'm not too disappointed that they made him a buildable figure because he is a lot larger than everyone else. So this would have been difficult to put into like a minifigure form. And yeah, overall Steppenwolf looks great. I can't wait to see him in the movie. And I think LEGO did portray him pretty well in this minifigure form here. For the next 2 figures, we get 2 parademons. One is that weird green variant, and one is that also weird yellow and blue variant. So again, they don't have any names differentiating them, but I'm guessing the yellow one is maybe like a higher ranking officer or something like that. But again, I'm not really sure about that. And we've already talked about these figures in the last 2 sets, so we're not going to skip over them right here and go on to our heroes here. We got Batman, Superman, Cyborg, and Wonder Woman. Starting off with Batman, this version is different from the last Batman we saw in the last set. This is his new outfit. It's a lot more metallic, a lot more silver. In the live action trailer, it does look a lot different, but here in this image, in minifigure form, it doesn't look too different from the regular Batman figure. But I am still liking that he has two variants of Batman. It does make it a lot more accurate to the movie. So this is probably going to be the final fight scene in the movie. So that's probably why he's wearing his final variant of the suit. And yeah, Batman looks great as always. Taking a look at Superman here. Now, I'm not sure about this. From what it looks like here, it does look like this is the same variant of Superman that we got in the last year's Batman vs. Superman set. And honestly, that makes sense. We all did know that he was going to be returning in this movie. It was kind of obvious. They did have him in all the posters and whatnot. So that was given that he was going to be returning in this movie. So I see why they just reused the figure. But the one thing that's bugging me here is not the fact that they reused the figure. It's the fact that they made the figure worse from what it was before. So as you guys know, in the Batman vs. Superman sets that we got a couple years ago, Superman honestly looked the exact same here. But he did have the dual molded legs that actually had his boots included. And I don't know why LEGO just didn't include them here. Now, I know those dual molded legs are more expensive to make, so that's why they don't usually include them in smaller sets. But this set is $120. It is already so large and super expensive. So why not give us those extra dual molded legs? Yeah, I'm not really sure what LEGO was thinking here, but they kind of killed Superman in this form. I would have much rather preferred to see him in the same form that they had him in this last year's Batman vs. Superman set. Honestly, the figure looks the exact same, it's just the legs look a lot different. But yeah, I'm not sure why LEGO did that. They already have this figure already made. It wouldn't have been that hard to do, just include him in this set. But yeah, I guess they just didn't want to do that. Yeah, so there's Superman. Honestly, he's not that great. I'd much rather have the figure that we got with the Batman vs. Superman sets. So if you guys don't have Superman and you want to pick him up, I'd recommend getting that set instead, because it's a lot cheaper, this one, and you get a better version of Superman. So that set is overall just a lot better. But yeah, that's enough about Superman. Now let's take a look at our next figure here. We got Cyborg, and you can't really see him in the actual image here, but we do have the outline of the minifigure, so we do know Cyborg's in the set, and he looks pretty awesome here. The details on his printing look really awesome there. From what I can tell here, they're using the same head mold that they did on the last Cyborg figure. They just probably changed up the details and the different printing on it, which is fine. That last figure was really awesome as well. But the one big thing that they did here is they gave him this cannon arm. So it's going to be a new mold there. I'm not sure how they're doing that. I don't know if you're just supposed to take off the handpiece, put that cannon on there, and then attach a stud to it. But whatever they're doing, it looks really awesome, and I'm really glad to see that they actually added this to the figure. This is something that Cyborg really needed, because it's a key part of the figure, and it's really nice to see it here in minifigure form. But yeah, overall, Cyborg looks pretty great. It's really sad to see that to collect all the Justice League members, you got to buy every single set, which is going to be pretty expensive, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Cyborg looks really great here. Now taking a look at our Wonder Woman figure, which is our final figure for this set. She looks pretty awesome. From what I can tell, she's a different variant from this Wonder Woman figure that we're going to be getting in this year's Wonder Woman set, and she's also different from the last year's Batman vs. Superman set, but she does look pretty sweet as well. Again, she has a dual molded legs here, which look really awesome. Her shield and sword look great as well. Honestly, I think they did Wonder Woman perfect here. They usually do her right. They don't usually mess up on Wonder Woman too much here, but she looks really, really great. And yeah, there's really not much more to add about her. I'm still confused as to why she got the dual molded legs and Superman did it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do for all the figures in this set. Now let's take a look at the actual build that we get here. So this thing is called the Flying Fox Batmobile Airlift Attack. The Flying Fox in this movie is, I'm pretty sure, supposed to be like their mobile command base. Almost like their helicarrier for the Avengers. This is where they're going to be like meeting up and devising plans to take out Steppenwolf and whatnot. And honestly, we haven't seen any images of it, and we haven't seen it in any of the trailers either, so I'm not sure how big it's supposed to be in the actual movie. I'm not even sure what it's supposed to actually look like, so I don't really have an actual image to go off of here. But from this LEGO image here, it does look pretty awesome, I guess. To me, it looks like a big flying fish that has its mouth open that's about to eat a Batmobile. But that, again, that's just my opinion. And personally, that looks a little bit weird to me. But again, maybe in the movie it actually looks a lot more awesome than this. It does look like it's quite large here, and this is probably what's going to be taking up most of the pieces here with that $120 price tag. It does have some red details going on all over it as well, which again, I don't really mind. Honestly, I'm just glad they didn't bring any yellow details like they do with the regular Batman sets. It's nice to see that it's all black here. They didn't really use any gray parts either. The cockpit looks pretty dope as well. And yeah, there's not much to say about this vehicle here. Again, it's just like the main feature here is just to take out the Batmobile. You're probably going to be able to open up the whole thing. There's going to be like the mobile command base and whatnot. And you're going to be able to pose your figures and all that inside the vehicle. But again, we don't have any images of that yet. But yeah, overall, the Flying Fox looks pretty cool. It just looks a little bit weird in my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it for the Flying Fox. Now let's take a look at our second vehicle here, which is the Batmobile, which is coming out of the Flying Fox here. And this is a new version of the Batmobile. This is not the same as the one we got a couple years back with the Batman vs Superman sets. And that last Batmobile was really awesome. I really liked that version of the Batmobile. And honestly, this one looks very similar to the last one. It just looks like they cut the canopy in half here and added this massive cannon. So from what I can tell, it pretty much looks like this exact same vehicle. And to me, that's honestly a little bit of a cheap out, because again, they don't really have to design anything new. But that is, again, accurate to the movies, because that's what he does in the actual movie. The Batmobile is not going to be very different. It's just going to have this cannon on it now. And we did actually see it in the trailer. If you guys remember, at the end of the trailer, Aquaman's like surfing on it and jumps off, and the parademons take him away. But yeah, from what I can tell, the vehicle is pretty much the exact same as it was before. It's probably going to have some different stickers and whatnot, as you can see on the side there. But yeah, overall, it looks the exact same. And again, I can't really complain too much, because it's probably what it's going to be like in the movie. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for the builds of this set, and that's pretty much going to do it for the entire set. And again, just like the last couple of sets, I did want to mention, this set also has one of those cosmic cube things going on here. And this time it's in Steppenwolf's hand there. This one's red, so I'm not sure if this one's supposed to be a lot different or something, or maybe it's like been activated. I'm not sure. But I guess Steppenwolf does have his hands on this one, and now the Justice League here is trying to stop him. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for this entire set. Again, I think $120 is way too big of a price point. I mean, now if you're a Cyborg fan and whatnot, the only way you can get this figure is by buying this set, which again is kind of crappy to hear about. But I mean, that's what LEGO does with these movie license themes. And yeah, honestly, with these sets, that's my only gripe about them. We had a couple minifigures that were a little bit off, in my opinion, which were like Aquaman and Superman. But Superman can be easily fixed. You can just buy last year's version of him. And Aquaman, with a little bit of custom printing and whatnot, you could probably get him to look a lot more like the movie than he already does. The builds in the sets themselves look pretty cool as well. The Nightcrawler there is really sweet. The Flying Fox and the Batmobile are great as well. I just think the price point is insane. And yeah, honestly, that's my only gripe with these sets, is the price points here. I know LEGO have milked the crap out of these sets. They do this with Star Wars, they do this with Marvel. Every time they have this big ensemble of characters, the only way you can collect them all is by buying every single set. And again, that is a good business strategy because it works. Honestly, what I wanted to see here were some smaller sets that included the same characters, just less detailed. Kind of like what they did with Batman vs Superman. For example, if you're a kid and you don't have too big of a budget here, and you just want to get two basic figures, Batman and Superman, you could have just bought that small $12 set that includes Batman and Superman, and you can play it all out, have fun with it. And then if you were like a big time collector and you actually wanted to get those super accurate figures, then you could go ahead and buy the larger set and get those really detailed figures. But here, LEGO doesn't really give you much of an option. The smallest set you can get is $25, which again isn't really cheap. And in that set, you only get Aquaman. So to get any other of the Justice League members, you gotta spend about $50, or if you want to get Cyborg, or Wonder Woman, or Superwoman, then you gotta spend $120. And again, that's really crappy to hear that LEGO is again milking these movie series sets to get as much money as they can. This doesn't personally hit me too bad because again, I can afford these sets, but for those kids that can't, again, it's really sad to see. Honestly, again, I'm fine when LEGO does this, as long as they just give us cheaper sets that will still give us the same characters, but they didn't really do that here at all. They just give a bunch of large sets that cost a whole bunch of money, and they're really just milking the crap out of this series. But again, those are just my opinions on this, guys. So make sure to go down in the comments below and let me know what you guys think about these new Justice League movie sets. Let me know what you guys think about these new figures like Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg. And tell me what you guys think about these prices. Let me know if you guys think they're fair or not. Again, I don't think they're fair at all, but that is just my opinion. And yeah, guys, so if you guys enjoyed watching this video, make sure to hit that like button as well. And as always, guys, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest LEGO DC superheroes news, make sure to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with all of that. And if you guys did want to check out an analysis of the Thor Ragnarok sets, which were just released yesterday, make sure to click on that video as well. I did upload that video yesterday, so make sure to check out that one as well. Guys, that's pretty much going to do it for this video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.